Welcome back to another video on Influential Sports. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gonna be doing my Royal Rumble predictions. I'm gonna predict the Royal Rumble matches last. I'm gonna actually start with the tag team match with DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns, the best 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag titles. I think this is pretty obvious how this match is gonna play out. DIY wins the first fall, Motor City Machine Guns win the second fall, and then Pretty Deadly, they get involved in the match and they help DIY retain because they're actually dumb enough to believe that they're gonna get a title shot uh, from DIY. DIY not gonna try to give it to them, and that's gonna be the story. And then Nick Aldis get involved, and they'll run Pretty Deadly versus DIY, and Pretty Deadly might even be the ones to take the titles off of DIY. I could really see that happening. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious how it's going to play out. It should be a really entertaining match. It might be long, too, because it's only 4 matches. You have the 2 Royal Rumble matches, and you got this match that I'm talking about now, and the Cody match we'll get to in a second. Like I said, I see DIY retaining. Don't know what's going on with the Street Profits. Could have easily saw them getting involved if they were on TV and in the storyline, but apparently they're both dealing with injuries that we just don't know about. Like they haven't told us what the injuries are. So that's actually kind of frustrating. Like, if they're really injured, can you tell us something? Because it's like they just kind of disappeared off of TV. But I see DIY retaining with Pretty Deadly getting involved and helping them win that final fall in the match. Now for the next match with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for the WWE title in a ladder match. With the promos recently with Sami Zayn and his involvement, it makes this tough because I could very well see Cody Rhodes retaining and having him go on the face of Randy Orton, or maybe running back Cody and Roman Part 3. Like, I could really see that happening. As much as I don't want it, like, they're running back a third time. It should be at a SummerSlam. I wouldn't want to see it at WrestleMania again, but I could see that. But then if you go the route of Kevin Owens, you could run that story with Sami Zayn. Like, that is the WrestleMania level story to run. And the last time we had Kevin Owens this hot was probably in that feud with Jericho, and they took the title off of him to give it to Goldberg. So and then obviously Goldberg is not involved in this equation now. So if Kevin Owens was to lose, it wouldn't be too bad. But he did already lose the first match, and it hasn't been and heels haven't looked great in WWE in 2025 so far. But I'm going to predict Kevin Owens to win this match. I do think Sami Zayn gets involved because everything Kevin Owens said is true. If Sami can help Roman, he can help all these people, especially somebody like Roman that did him wrong. He should be able to help Kevin too. Now, I don't know to what extent he's going to be involved, whether that's accidentally making Cody lose or him trying to get them to become friends at some point. But I just really see Sami Zayn getting involved in this match. And I feel like Kevin Owens is going to win this match, and we might get Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn main event, which would be a fantastic story to tell at WrestleMania. I could very well be wrong about that, and if I am, cool, because Cody Rhodes is going to do something great too. No matter who the champion is, I think they do something great at WrestleMania, but I'm going to predict Kevin Owens to win. Now for the men's Royal Rumble, as far as surprises go, I only see it being one major surprise, and that's Josh Alexander. Like, it's been a lot of people have been announced, so it's like we know about 2/3 of the Royal Rumble already. So the only surprise I really could see is Josh Alexander. I'm not predicting like Nick Nemeth for Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's the TNA World Champion, and it wouldn't really make sense for him to be in there. Nick Nemeth, it wouldn't make sense for him to come out to that name at the Royal Rumble, because WWE fans know him as Dolph Ziggler, so I don't see him being there. And I don't know the whole Josh Alexander thing that's going on in TNA right now, but with him quitting and then having a match on Impact the next week. But I'm predicting Josh Alexander to show up because I feel like he's going to go on a run in WWE at some point this year. So that'll be a great way to introduce him to the WWE audience. For returns, I definitely see Randy Orton coming back. It would just make sense for him to come back at this point. I see AJ Styles coming back. I heard reports that he's healthy, so hopefully he's in the Royal Rumble. And then Omos, they said that he got done doing the stuff that he was doing overseas. Went 6-0, had a good run, won the tag titles. being one of their most over stars in whatever company he was in, pro wrestling, Noah. So seems like he's on his way back. Now, when it comes down to the final four, this is gonna get interesting. But I see it being John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, because all four of these guys, they very well could win, and they all have history, and they all make great main event cases. Like John Cena's had stories with each and every one of these people. We haven't seen the story of Punk and Roman just yet. We've seen it. We've seen them team together in War Games, and it was a bit of a drift between the two. Then they finally shook hands at the end. And when it comes down to the Royal Rumble, CM Punk was like, it is no friends in the Royal Rumble. Obviously, him and Seth got history. Him and Roman do got history dating back to the Shield days. But as of recent, they haven't done much with that story yet. And they're definitely going to explore it sometime, either this year or next year. But I see them doing CM Punk and Roman at some point. They could be a really good SummerSlam match if they wanted to do that. So I see that being the final four. And obviously, John Cena, he's on his retirement tour. He hasn't been there much to promote the Royal Rumble, even promote saying that he's going to win it. And all these other guys, Punk and Seth, especially, they didn't say that they're going to win it. Paul Heyman's advocated that Roman's going to win it. CM Punk, John Cena hasn't really said anything. Like, we know he declared, and he hasn't been on the show since the Netflix debut. But I see this being the final four, and I see John Cena coming out of this as the winner and going on to WrestleMania to dethrone Gunther to break the record for most world titles. That's how I see the men's Royal Rumble playing out. Now for the women's Royal Rumble, once again, only see one surprise since a lot of the women started declaring last week. But I see Jordynne Grace. I think her contract with TNA is coming up, and she was in the Royal Rumble last year. I see her coming back again. So I think that'll be a cool element. Now where she goes, whether it's NXT or the main roster, I think she'll thrive wherever she goes. But I definitely see her being a surprise. Now, as far as returns go, I do see Becky Lynch returning. They haven't announced nothing yet. We already know Charlotte is coming back, so I didn't put her down. But they haven't showed no vignette or anything for Becky, so I'm thinking she's gonna come back. Jade Cargill got to come back at this point. I'm also predicting Alexa Bliss. I know what the report said it might be about a contract dispute or something like that. But I hope that if that's the case, that she gets a deal done and she can return. Then I'm predicting a Carmella return, but with the whole Corey Graves situation, I could see a world where she doesn't come back because of that, or where she doesn't come back as soon as I'm predicting because of that, and they hold her off TV a bit longer. But I do see Carmella returning in the Royal Rumble. Those are my four returns. Now for the final four, I think this is the most tricky, especially for the women. I do see Io Sky winning it. I have Io Sky winning the Royal Rumble to go on and face Rhea. Because Charlotte, she could win, but she doesn't need it. Like, she can just straight up challenge Tiffany for the title going into WrestleMania. Like, it's Charlotte Flair, so she don't really need to win. So if Io Sky wins it, that would be pretty cool. Now for the other three of the final four, I see Liv and Raquel being in the final four. Because if they want to build a rivalry with Liv and Raquel, I could definitely see that in the Royal Rumble. Like, you could cause a drift between them in the Judgment Day. Well, you can't do it, but that could cause a drift in the Judgment Day, because Liv wants to get back to the top of the mountain, but then Raquel realizes that maybe I want to be a world champion someday too, and then Raquel throws Liv over the ropes, and then the Judgment Day, you keep the story going for a little bit, maybe they go out to the tag titles, and then if they aren't able to successfully get them, then that's where it starts, because Liv feels like Raquel is too focused on herself and not helping out the team. And then the other person for the final four, I see it being Jade Cargill. Like, I think she's going to come back. She's going to make a dominant statement. I don't think she's going to win, but I could definitely see her being in that final four. So those are my predictions for the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble. Hopefully it's a great show. It's only 4 matches, so hopefully they use the time well. Hopefully we get a few surprises in the men's and women's Royal Rumble, even though we know most of the people that's going to be there already. But leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below your predictions for the Royal Rumble. Peace.